right, the fear of failure. Oh man, that holds so many people back in more ways than they realize. And if you're stuck on worrying about failing, you'll never truly score your shot at being successful. So here to kill fear is author, international speaker, communications consultant. The list could go on, and more than anything else, mommy, Krystal Tomlinson. Morning. Welcome to Smile Jamaica. It's morning time.
Thank you very much.
How are you guys? First of all, Krystal, why write this book? What inspired you to write this book?
My experience with fear, and it's consistent. One of the things I'll tell people off the bat is that the fear doesn't ever go away. You'll kill it today and you'll wake up tomorrow morning with all those fears seeming to reemerge. And it's like a skill. Once you've gotten over fear A, you either get fear A, B, or fear B and C that comes up to kind of slow you down. It's a mechanism to keep people comfortable. And unless you get used to attacking a fear, looking it dead in the eye and taking the action when your body and your mind are telling you, this is dangerous, don't do it, you're going to fail, you're going to lose, people are going to laugh, you're going to be alone, nobody's going to join you. And so you sit comfortably and say, you know what, let me not take the risk at all.
Yeah.
So it's my own experience having to deal with fear, especially being in the public eye, having to handle that fear of criticism. Am I going to do the right thing? What are people going to say? Is this going to cost me some kind of job or a promotion? What do I do? And training myself to take the action even though I'm a little bit afraid or a lot afraid. I said, if that affects me, it must affect people too who are outside of the public eye, who you will never see, and there's nobody to flood their Instagram page with nice, warm sentiments, and they're going through it alone. So this book is supposed to give you permission to be afraid, look at your fear, and kill it every single day if you have to excel.
Yeah. So one of the things it does is it doesn't say that fear is irrational or that you shouldn't be afraid.
No.
It says it's going to happen. You
Yeah.
are going to be afraid, but this is how you overcome it.
Absolutely.
What are some of the tips or recommendations that you have?
So when we look at the fear of failure particularly, there are three things that I advise that you do, because when people are afraid to fail, they're either going to overcompensate, and so you'll see people doing everything. They'll go to the gym, seek the promotion, take care of the house, take care of the kids, everything. You'll never hear them say no. They're going to take on every single thing they can because they can't risk failing at it. Or they're going to underperform, which means saying no to all the things that look challenging. So if you're going to handle that fear of failure, to kill it, the first thing you have to do is to change your lens. We have to start looking at failure as a guide towards excellence. So every time I fail, I learn something. I don't know nobody who fail and don't learn something at the end of the day. So tell yourself that it's a lesson and frame it as a thrust instead of a bust opportunity. So instead of saying, boy, I don't want to lose my work. Boy, I don't want my kids fail GSAT or PEP. Boy, I don't want this. Boy, I don't want that. That's a bust goal. So it means that you're looking at all the ways that things could go wrong. Take it from a thrust perspective. Boy, I want this promotion. Boy, I want this. I will do this. I will get this. And frame it in a way where the failure is like a little bridge that allows you to cross with one more lesson at a time. The next thing you have to do is balance your risk. So I will never tell anybody, don't worry that you're afraid of starting your new business. Run, go jump out there and do it. If you have a 9 to 5, work the 9 to 5. You're afraid to start the business, start it little and tups. Do the extra work on a Saturday and a Sunday. Take one day off in the week where you're focusing on building this thing instead of throwing the 9 to 5 solid work out of the way to take on this new thing that very well might not be as successful as you imagine it. So balance the risk. And the next thing is to assess what I like to call your WPOs, your worst possible outcome. There are many times that we freak ourselves out thinking that the worst thing that will happen is that I will die. I'm going to get up on the stage and speak, and I'm afraid of public speaking, and so I'm going to die up there. I'm going to ask the boss for a raise, and the boss going to run me, and I'm going to dead in the office. We go to very large extremes in terms of the consequences of the action. So to assess your worst possible outcome, I'm going to ask my boss for a raise. I'm afraid to do this. What's the worst thing that could happen?
Me tell people say no, never kill nobody. Me never know somebody here, no one them go so
and drop a girl.
No,
so we assume that we are going to die when really the worst thing you're going to get is a no. It might be a little uncomfortable in the moment.
Is that you don't ask.
I like that.
That's the worst thing.
I like that.
You don't ask.
And you'll never know if you could have gotten that raise. So all the little things or big things that you're afraid of, going out on a date after, some severe heartbreak, I don't know, saying that you want a divorce because this relationship is just not working anymore. The worst thing that could happen is not that you will never meet anybody again, but that you may have to have some uncomfortable conversations with your parents, with your spouse, with your children about why they're not seeing mommy or daddy around anymore. So we have to measure those worst possible outcomes, write them down on paper. And when you see it on paper, you realize, I'm not going to die. I'm not going to get pneumonia from doing this. So I can take that action in spite of feeling afraid to
another
fail.
level. Who is it for? I know a lot of it is anchored in your own experiences, not just now, but as a teenager.
Yeah,
And at that time, not even realizing how to overcome fear. So is this for what age groups? Who do you want to be able to read this?
I really think that the best age group that this is for is 15 to about 25.
Okay.
The best. Anybody can read it. But I think 15 to 25, just as you're making that transition through adolescence and even as a young adult trying to find your way through university, your first job, you know, amassing your little assets, paying down your debt, what are some of the things that you have to confront as you're trying to be the first person in your family to make it into something?
Yeah.
Those fears that you have to deal with about failing, not getting a job, not finishing university, not. How do you handle that in these initial stages? So we're doing book signings this weekend. I'm so excited. I'm a vendor at Jamaican Made Christmas. I've never sold anything in my life, and I'm selling something now. So we're having book signings in Mandeville on Friday, 2 to 4 p.m. at Mega Mart in Mandeville. And we're also signing at Mega Mart in Portmore on Saturday at 2 to 4 again. And we're also at Waterloo also on Saturday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So all Mega Mart stores, the book is available for sale. And we're on Amazon now, but we'll have the ebook version come January. So,
all right. So books will be
excited.
on sale.
Yes.
So they can come purchase books.
And get it signed, take pictures, and talk through the fear. Like I really want to have conversations with people about their fears so we realize how common they are. Because sometimes we think we alone feel it.
Yeah.
And that's not true.
No, we all have fear in different ways. And sometimes the actual fear of trying is worse than the actual thing
that you're afraid to try to do.
Yeah.
You know, I remember my greatest example currently is politics. When I said I wanted to be a part of the political process in a very open way, I was afraid. Now, the kind of politics where people used to kill you for it is long gone in Jamaica. But again, you had that fear that you probably would lose your life to the process.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen. I declared my hand, started working, and outside of the people who just don't support my political party, there has been no real consequence. And I sat down for years just thinking, bad idea, oh my God, it's not gonna work, bad idea. Until you actually take that action, you'll realize how little barriers there really are except what's in your head.
So to me as well, because hearing you say that, I meet a lot of young people who stay away from the process because of some of the things that you are saying. And I believe that one of the things about killing fear as an individual is that it allows others to realize that there is no fear where you think it exists. So for example, going into the political process, having killed that fear, it says to other people, oh,
come
well,
kill it too.
Yeah. So it's a great, just not empowerment for yourself, but for the people around you. Congrats, my love.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm so proud of all of the women that are sharing and writing.
Delia, when are you gonna write? I mean, you write for stage, you know, but I want a Delia story. When are we gonna have the Delia story?
No, I mean, that's the book that I take so. Sure.
But I'm excited about the feedback we've had so far. I mean, people have the book as far as Japan. So I know that it resonates with the right kind of audience, and overwhelmingly it's a lot of young adults, new mothers, new parents too, that want that kind of, you know, direction and compass about how to navigate this thing that I'm so afraid of, particularly thinking you're going to fail at it.
Yes.
You know?
I tell you about me and the fear of Benji. Author of Kill Fear, Krystal Tomlinson. Look out for her at those book signings across the island. News in 5 is next. That's it for Off the Shelf.